Welcome back, everyone, to the Stay Introverted Podcast. I am your co-host, Jay Coleman.
And I am your other co-host, Steph Laffey.
And today we have a very fun episode for you and mine. But
I hope, unless you fire me.
I mean, we both own the company, so I don't think we'll be firing each other.
True. I'll fight you right now.
Yeah, we answer to each other. So
this could be therapeutic, though. I think it might be good.
Very, very awesome. So, fun episode in store. But first, as always, we want to thank you for taking the time to tune in and listen to two introverts just talking the talk.
Shooting the shit.
Exactly.
Talking the talk. Yeah. And hopefully by the end of this, you're not like, screw these people. Like, who are these psychopaths?
Hey, we're just a couple of introverts with something to say, as I typically say.
Yeah.
So we'll just hop right into it. Our topic for today is introvert toxic traits. And anyone who knows me knows that I am definitely a hardcore full introvert, and I will defend my introverts to the death. But we can be a little toxic. We do have some things that we could work on, and I will definitely be the first to admit that. So Steph and I had the idea to discuss one or five of them today. And so, Steph, do you want to start, or should I start?
Well, before I even get into it, I just want to say that my toxic traits are probably pretty common and probably pretty common amongst introverts, but I don't want to speak for you guys. So let us know, like, do you have these in common with us? Like, do you relate to any of these, or are you like, oh my God, like, who have I invested my time into listening to? Like, oh yeah. So I don't want to speak for you guys, but I'm just gonna own my shit. I'm just gonna own my toxic traits, because that's really all you can do, right? I think awareness is the first step. Doesn't mean I'm gonna change my toxic trait right now, but at least being aware of it, admitting I have a problem is step one. And it might take me 10 years to take step two, but at least I'm admitting it.
Okay, so I don't know how this turned into an AA meeting, but, introvert toxic traits anonymous. I don't know how we got here, but you're right. Awareness and acknowledgement is the first step, and I guess the final step is submission to a higher power. So I guess the introvert gods, we submit to y'all. Might take us 10 years.
I guess our listeners are the introvert god today.
Yes. So we come before you, introverted audience out there, to
asking for forgiveness.
Yes, or laughs. Either one.
Or laughs.
Either one will suffice. But
actually, I'd rather you just laugh. It's okay.
Yeah, that could work. That could definitely work. But in all seriousness, I do think that our introverted toxic traits will be recognized amongst some of the audience. I do think that some of our audience out there may relate to what we're going to say. So at least that's my hope.
Yeah. I hope so too.
Yes, very much so.
Are you nervous? I'm a little nervous.
A little bit. I'm not always I'm not the most comfortable talking about, myself or getting too deep.
Or the negative parts about myself.
Exactly.
All right, I guess I will do the honors then of starting off. So my toxic trait, my first one, I think, is I often tend to use the internet as my therapy stage.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I have a tendency because I don't go to a therapist. I just write in my journal and brain dump into my journal. And then I often take my journal entries and just turn it right into content without even editing it. So sorry, fam, but I mean, enough of you have been following along for like a couple of years now, so I guess it doesn't bother you that much.
Well, hopefully not. I think they understand. Like you said, you've been doing it for a couple of years, so they should be used to it.
Yeah, get used to it. Get over it. I
So,
don't know. Is that a toxic trait? Probably.
I mean, could be mildly toxic, you know.
Okay, so on the toxic scale, what are we ranking it?
I don't know. I'd say that's probably a 2 or a 3.
Okay, so don't worry, I'll get more toxic as we go on. I just wanted to like kind of easy. I
Ease
want to
into
ease you
it.
guys in. Yeah,
Okay,
I
fair
I
enough.
wasn't gonna say the worst one right off the bat.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, I guess I'll go with mine. Mine, I think, is actually a classic introvert toxic trait, which is I don't want to go, but I definitely want to be invited.
Okay,
You know, I I like having options. You know,
right,
there's probably a 9 out of 10 chance that I'm not going to go, but
right.
a 12 out of 10 chance that I want to be invited.
Okay,
It feels good to know that you're thinking of me and that you want my presence there at your event, even though I'm probably not going to go. And
okay.
sometimes when I find out that I'm not invited, yeah, I might feel some kind of way because I want the opportunity to consider it and say no.
Fair enough. Well, I
And
I can definitely relate to that. Like we talked a lot about that on the introvert math episode.
mm-hmm.
But since that, I'm actually glad that you said that because I like have more to say on that topic. So,
Please share. Please share.
um, so I get really upset when like I see that people are out and like they don't invite me. But I recently had sort of like a breakthrough moment where I realized like maybe it's not even about me. Like, I think for a while I was kind of thinking, oh, like, these people don't invite me because they don't like me. But then I realized, no, it's not that they don't like me. It's just that I have time and time again demonstrated that I'm not interested in going. And so, like, after multiple times of being turned down, eventually they just assume that I'm not going to go. And of course, it's always the one time that I would have gone. So taking it to a whole another level of like, I say no because like I literally don't even want to do the activity. And then the one time I would have gone, I get all upset. And that's like the one time they finally decided, you know what, we're tired of hearing no. Like she's not even going to come.
Yeah, same. That's exactly how it is for me. you know. Uh, no, I mean, in all seriousness, that's kind of how it is. Like, I think folks get, they just assume, okay, well, Jay's going to probably say no if you invite him, so now if you're going to bother. And like you said, it's the one time that I actually am probably going to go.
Right. And it's like it's such a bummer because like you see it on like social media or like their stories and you're like, oh damn, I was actually available tonight. Like, why didn't they ask me? And it's like, well, I mean, why would they?
Exactly, because the last 9 times they asked you, you said no.
Right. So I'm wondering like how often do you need to say yes to like kind of keep those invites coming?
That is a very good question. Um, hmm, maybe three
And
out of
I guess 3 out of 10.
3 out of 10.
Well, yeah. Well, friend, if you're listening and you've invited me and I've said no, tell me if I'm on the right track. How often do I have to say yes? Um, No, but and I think the other issue is like it's not even that like it's I don't for me it's not that I don't want to go all the time. It's just that like well yeah, I guess I don't want to go. It's not even it's not even that I don't want to go. It's not like I'm
Oh my
trying
god.
to. I'm just gonna shut up. See, that's another one of my toxic traits is I over talk and like try to like, but I can't lie. So like I try to like beat around the bush all the time,
And
but
just mess around and tell the
physically,
truth.
yeah, I'm physically incapable of telling a lie.
Oh my god.
So it's like it's a struggle. So if I start beating around the bush, you know that I'm trying to not tell you what I really think.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Can
Yes.
you relate to that one, or is that just a me problem?
That might be a you
You
problem.
could be honest.
Like for me, my toxic trait, I guess, as far as the truth, is that I can be extremely blunt.
Okay.
So, like, not even trying to beat around the bush. Like, I will tell the cold, hard, dead, painful truth.
Okay. Well, you
Um,
haven't hurt my feelings yet, so
well, I'm glad.
either yeah, so either I can take it or you just haven't had to give me a reality check yet,
All right.
which I guess those are both good things.
I think so.
Okay. Well, if you ever need to give me a reality check, try to not be too mean.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Because my husband, actually, when I asked my husband earlier, and I was telling you this offline, I was like, what are my toxic traits? And he was like, you want like multiple, right? And I was like, oh God, ouch. I'm really not that bad, guys. Okay. I'm like a wonderful person. I just have some bad qualities. We all do. Um, but going off of that is I am very sensitive. Like so I can take criticism, but like way after the fact. So like you can like tell me something that I'm doing wrong and I'll get like really upset or sad about it in the moment. Maybe not to the person, but like I will get really worked up. But then eventually I will take the criticism like way down the line once I've like gotten over myself.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, so it's not that toxic, I guess. Like I take the criticism, I just cry about it first.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So basically if you need to be blunt, like be blunt and nice.
Fair enough. So my other toxic trait is that I do like having people around, but I also want them to go away, like
Okay.
very quickly. Like I want y'all around, just over there.
Right. Okay. So you like to see people,
Yes,
but you just maybe don't want to hear them.
correct, or see them after a while.
Oh, so you just want to know they're around.
I
You
like
want to
knowing
feel
they're
their
around.
presence.
Yes, I like knowing they're around, just over there, just all the way over there.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Like,
Yeah,
how far away is over there? Like, out of earsight and eyesight?
it depends. It
Ear
varies.
sight. What the fuck is that?
I don't
Earsight, is
know.
that a word?
I was just gonna. I wasn't going to address that. I was just going to let it go. Yes.
Is that a word?
I don't think earsight is a word. I think earshot,
Earshot.
is
Yeah.
a word. But I
Oh
also
my
know that you're
goodness.
very sensitive, so I didn't want to criticize.
Okay.
I was going to let that go. And
Well, I guess you did. Then you listened to my sensitivity. You understood that, like, I maybe maybe not everything needs to be called out. But don't worry,
exactly.
I thought about crying about that, but I didn't. So
Cool. And see, we've grown past it now, and we're both and we're both better for it.
we knew what I meant. It's okay.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. But
Maybe
but
I'm not as sensitive as I thought.
but I mean it. I think it varies. You know, sometimes depending on the mood that I'm in, or I guess depending on the theme of the function, I may be more inclined to uh, be okay with having more, being around more people. But for the most part, I'm good with just knowing that they're around and I can kind of pop in when I want to and pop out when I want to. I don't need folks there all the time. Like I can go.
Right.
Uh,
Right. I like to be so my problem is like I feel like I like to like be around people like on my own terms though. And then like I need like alone time, like serious alone time on my own terms. And sometimes like my circumstances don't allow for me to like either be alone or be with people. And that becomes kind of problematic. So like I'll be in the office, right? Like cuz I have to be there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
mhm.
And sometimes like during the times that I'm at the office, I need alone time, but like I can't have it. So I just put my beats on and even without music or without anything playing, I just put my beats on and act like I'm on a phone call while I work.
Oh yeah, I've definitely
I'm
done
like,
that.
hey, if I have to be here, then like I'm gonna be here alone.
Most definitely.
You might all be around, but I am alone right now because I need it. Hoping none of my coworkers listen to this. But they know. I'm always like, they're like, "Are you on the phone?" I'm like, "No. Do you need something?"
Yes. Tell me what you
um,
want, and I'll let you know if I'm on the phone or not.
yeah, exactly. That's what I meant. Exactly. Do you need something? Oh yeah, I'm actually on a call right now. Oh my god.
But I think it's just, at least for me. I don't know how every introvert is different, but for me at least, I just get overstimulated very easily, and I
Mhm.
just can't physically be around people for a long period of time because I just get overwhelmed. I get drained, and I need to go
Right.
recharge. And that's even if I'm having a good time. Like obviously, if I'm having a good time, it'll I can hang around longer, but eventually
Right.
I will get drained, and I'll just need to remove myself and then take a break. So you know, I,
Right.
it's just an introvert thing. I just can't be around folks for too long. I don't get my energy that way. I lose energy that way.
Okay, I hear you. Have you learned to like so something that I've learned is number one, I actually recently have started pre-charging my battery instead of like recharging, I pre-charge.
Hmm.
So before I'm gonna be around people, like Saturday, for example, I had the most insane day. I ran a charity event and then I was like out and about all day. Then I had a birthday party. Then I went to the bars. Then I went to a concert. Um, so I was literally out and about from like 9 a.m. until 6 a.m. Uh, with people the entire time. And so the way that I pre-charged is I did something for myself before I went out for the day. And it was something that was solely for me. And like that sort of like if like let's say if we're talking about like a laptop or a cell phone, like you can charge it to 100%, right? And over the course of the day, it runs out of battery. But like I think of pre-charging as like giving myself like that extra boost. Like I charge it myself to like 125%. So for me, like that's exercising or like usually exercising, like doing cardio gives me a little bit of an extra boost. And especially if it's like something that's like solely for my benefit. So I'm curious what you think about that.
I like it. I think for me, I guess the way that I pre-charge is really just trying to um, clear my head and free my mind before I have to go either talk to a bunch of people or just socialize in general. So
Right.
I'll kind of just I'll literally just lay down somewhere and kind of just not meditate, but just not move or anything. And then I love music, so I'll always just listen to some some R&B and try to clear my head that way. And that actually kind of gives me a little bit of energy to be able to deal with any sort of socializing that I may have to do. But I typically also just take breaks, during, so more of a intermittent charging while I'm there.
Right. Yeah, no, that's smart because I mean, I could imagine if you were to go to a social event or a place that you were around people, and you didn't do that like head clear, or you didn't like make sure that you were in a good headspace, like your battery would run out a whole lot quicker.
Uh-huh.
So I think that's important. Um, and then the other thing I was actually going to ask you is, do you ever like recharge like without like I almost go into like incognito mode and like I recharge like sort of while people are around without them even knowing. Like I can just like completely check out of a conversation and just like smile and look like I'm there, but I'm completely just checked out, not paying attention, like just internally trying to like reset myself.
I mean, yeah, I do that, but typically I tend to check out right after someone says, "Hi, my name is," like.
Okay. Damn, that is hardcore toxic trait. Okay.
So
That escalated real fast.
I, I mean, so I'm trying to be better, fam. I'm trying to be a kinder, gentler introvert, but yeah, it's not easy. Um, I definitely do uh, zone out during small talk, conversations. But
Right.
yeah, it is a cool way to quickly recharge.
Right. Oh, it's I love like being out and about at a bar or something, which sounds like an oxymoron for an introvert, but it's so easy when there's a lot of people around to just completely check out. Like nobody even notices that I'm like, the lights are on, but nobody's home. Like I love being in a surprisingly I like being in a big group, like because it takes the focus off of me, and it makes it a whole lot easier for me to just like disconnect from everybody for a couple minutes without anybody noticing, or without me having to make up a whole story, which takes up a whole lot of energy about why I just went to the bathroom for 10 minutes. I'd rather just do it right there.
uh, yeah, I guess for me, I always want to be in a smaller group. For me, the smaller the better.
Right,
It's not a big um, big crowd or big group person, because in my
right.
experience, for me, I always get kind of pulled in some way, shape, or form. So I just prefer not to do it. So
Okay.
like, yeah, for me, it's just the opposite. Like if I people tend to like gravitate towards me and want to talk, and I'm like, no, not really.
Okay.
So
I that probably is because they can tell that you really don't want to talk.
I think that's part of it.
Like people are just like you always want what you can't have.
Yeah,
So
I will
if
tend to
they're
be.
like they feel that energy that you're like, I don't want you to come here, and they're like, I'm coming right next to you.
I've had people do that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna come sit right next to you and talk. I'm like, well, you're gonna sit next
Right.
to me.
I feel like you don't want me here, so I'm gonna sit right next to you.
Yeah, like
That's
you'll sit next to
great.
me. I don't know about the talking part. That second part, I don't know about. But yeah, I've
That's
had
so
people do
funny.
that a lot. And that's kind of why I'm not a fan of large groups. It also doesn't help that I'm typically the largest person in whatever group
Right.
I'm in. So it's like you can't miss me.
Right.
So like that
Okay.
plays a part in it. And so um, it's just not a enjoyable experience. And then people keep trying, and then they want to say that you're rude or to say that you're being mean because you just don't feel like talking. And it's like,
Right.
you know, one, no one should be like pressured or bullied into talking if they don't want to. But
Right.
two,
And why do you want to force somebody to talk when they don't feel like it?
yeah, and like two, you saying this isn't going to motivate me to talk
Right.
anymore.
It's gonna
So,
make me to be more quiet.
yeah, so like why bother? But yes, I am not a fan of voucher groups.
Right. Okay. I hear you. Yeah, it surprises people when I say that. But again, it's because it takes the attention off me. Like I get very uncomfortable when there's like a very small group sometimes. I like a small group, but like that just means it that just means I'm usually required to like participate more. Like I can't like I can't detach as frequently. You can't go to the bathroom as frequently if you want to recharge privately. It's more noticeable if you're recharging in front of everyone. So it's like I almost like to hide in the crowd, you know?
Yeah, I wish I could hide in the crowd.
Oh my god, it's such a great it's probably the greatest skill that I've ever mastered, and it's like a lot of people don't realize that I'm introverted because of it, because I've learned how to look like I'm there.
Yeah.
I used to have like 1,000 yard stare, and like I just looked crazy. So like I really had to go disappear for a little bit, but
Mhm.
like be like with my role at work and like just like everything that I've had going on lately, it's come in handy quite a bit.
Awesome. But I guess that actually brings me to another one of my toxic traits, which is that I actually have a lot to say, and I actually don't mind having conversations. I just don't like calling anybody, and B don't want anybody calling me. So it's like,
Right.
how do I talk to people if I don't
Well,
call?
you have a podcast for that.
Yeah, so I have a podcast, and then we can invite people to talk to.
Right. Exactly.
Yes,
And if you want to hear what I have to say, tune into the podcast.
exactly.
Ooh, that makes me think of one too. Is like I have a podcast, and I feel like I've actually heard you say this one on a I think it was Shalia's podcast, maybe.
Okay.
Um, so we have a podcast now. You didn't at the time, but a lot of the times, like people will try to call me and or like message me or text me, and I just like will take forever to get back to them. And they'll be like, but you have a podcast, like you have a social media, you were so down to share there, and now all of a sudden you're too tired to talk to me. I'm like, yeah, pretty much.
I don't know. Don't know if that was me, but I definitely feel that in so many ways because it's so true. It is so true.
Like, you're getting mad at me for not wanting to call you every single day. But like I can't. Maybe it wasn't you. Maybe I just had a dream. Maybe it was me.
But it brings up a good point because it's not even just the fact that we're talking or just the fact that we're socializing. It's how, like, maybe it's easier for us to respond to a post or a text or whatever than it is to actually get on the phone and and one, call somebody, but also have a conversation. To me, that takes way more energy than just posting or responding to a post on social media.
Right.
And yeah, like that. I am very. I safeguard my energy very strictly. So yes,
Right.
it's not the. I get drained by the time it's time to call you. Sorry, but not sorry.
Right. And it's like I need to also like be warned before somebody calls me. Like if you just call me without any warning or like, hey, can I call you? Like I'm probably not gonna pick up.
Oh yes, I will definitely screen my calls.
Like I don't care if like unless there are very few people like I'll pick up. I'll pick up if you call me like 4 times. Because then I assume it's like an emergency. But if I pick up and you called me 4 times and you just wanted to say hi, I'm gonna hang up. You got my attention and everything's okay. Are you kidding? Just kidding. Not really.
Yeah, I need at least 12 hours notice before phone calls.
Oh wow. Okay, you're worse than me. Cool.
Yes.
I love when someone's worse than me.
Yeah. Unless it's like my mother or a close friend.
Right.
But
Then you need like 6 hours.
exactly.
Um, I'm wondering how you feel about having a lot of text messages or DMs or like so for me like I like voice notes. I think they're like a happy medium. Because I can just say what I want to say without it taking too long because like typing takes forever. Um, but I don't have to have a whole phone call and we can like kind of voice note back and forth like on our own terms. So I think that's such a happy medium. Um, but I just lost my train of thought. That's another toxic trait. Oh. If I have more than 10 messages on any given app, like if it says like 9 plus, I cannot mentally handle answering any of them. And it takes me like a couple days to like gather the momentum to actually like respond to them. So if I have too many messages, it just freaks me out. And then if I have more than like 3 messages from the same person, especially if they're all voice notes, forget it. But even though I can't handle it, I'm the first person to send you like 10 messages in a row. You can read what I have to say. And on top of that, I will send out messages to like 15 different people at once. So even though I can't handle messages from that many people, I will send them out.
Yes, I've definitely
I'm
been
working on it.
on the receiving end of like the 6 texts Stephanie last. So
Oh yeah, I definitely blow up your phone.
it's like it's interesting though because it's like each text is its own thought, which is awesome.
Yep.
So,
Oh, so you don't mind that?
I don't, because it makes it easier to respond to, in my opinion.
Exactly. You can just respond to like whatever you feel like it and just ignore their ass. So for people that like text the way that I do, which I feel like I've trained a lot of my friends to do that, or maybe they just already did that. I don't know. But for people that I know sent like a thought per message, I can handle responding right away. For people that have 15 thoughts in one message, even if it's just one that they sent, I love you, but if you don't separate it for me, I might not look.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I don't like. Like with you, like you said, it's each text is kind of its own thought, so you kind of you know why there are six different texts, because it's six different thoughts. Whereas somebody else,
Exactly.
the reason there are six different texts is because they just kept exceeding the character limit in the text, so it just
Oh my
broke it up.
God,
It was
yeah.
just it's
See,
just one
that's toxic.
thought broken up into six different texts. You
Right,
know
just summarize it. Give me the clip notes.
exactly. So I like
And
I'd rather deal with that.
if you can't summarize it in one brief text, and also no block text, please. Like paragraphs, please. One sentence per paragraph. Like when it's a whole block of just like word vomit, I'm like, please no. Like we need some spaces, add some emojis in there. Like if you can't get it all in one message, schedule a call with me for 12 hours from now.
There you go. Exactly.
Open up a
Exactly.
note app.
Yes. Like do not send me your entire stream of consciousness in text form. I do not like that at all.
Right. Just post it on the internet like I do. Somebody will care.
But I am getting uh, more into like the voice text or the voice messages.
Oh my God, I used to hate it so much.
Yeah, I like it because one of the, I guess, the negatives as far as texting is that you don't always know like someone's tone, and like that can be
Yeah.
misconstrued or mistaken. So I think with the voice message, at least you can tell, someone's upset or someone's happy or whatever, and there's
Right.
there's less confusion. So I think that's one thing I enjoy. Uh, what I don't like is when you send a few back and forth, and then someone says, "Hey, let me just call you." No, no,
No, we're voice noting.
exactly. Like no, like if I wanted to call you, I would have called you in 12 hours. But
Right.
like no, we're not doing that.
Right. And I feel like voice note is really the best of both worlds because also you can on a lot of apps, like I use the Voxer app to walkie talkie, and it's my favorite way to communicate with people because not only can you voice note, you can voice note like a full, like as long as you want. Although maybe it has like a 5 minute limit or something like that. But you can also transcribe it so you can read it if you want. And it's great. You just look at it whenever you are ready to respond. And I don't know. I love it.
Sounds awesome. Date your sponsor, Russ. Hey,
Oh, yeah, we are looking for sponsorship. So, Voxer, where are you at?
exactly.
Maybe
You're
we'll
my
send them this
you're my favorite
episode.
app that I will start using at some point.
Oh my God, it's great. Oh, we should use that actually.
You should
Maybe. I
sponsor
feel
us.
like we have conversation. Yeah, we'll use it if you sponsor us. If not, then we'll still use it.
Yes,
That was a very compelling argument.
that really was. We have to work on our pitch.
Yeah, probably. Um, that's funny. Um, what's it called? What are I don't know. I don't know. That's another one of mine is like I'll like literally like interrupt a conversation and then forget my train of thought. Wait, guys. Oh shit, I forgot. They're like, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh my goodness.
Happens too often.
But
Or I'll forget my thought like midway through the thought, and I'll just kind of trail off, and everyone's like, "Are you gonna finish what you were saying?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I was talking."
yeah, I guess I'm done.
It'll be like mid story, like climax of the story, and I'll just, oh, the squirrel. or I sometimes will interrupt myself completely. Like just mid sentence, I'll just start talking about something else. That's usually if I've had too much to drink, I think.
I was about to ask, how do you interrupt yourself?
You'll see it happen at some point on the podcast. It's hard to explain it. You have to see it to believe it, but it happens frequently.
All right.
I get excited. Like I'll get like I have such a squirrel brain, you know. And so I'll like while I'm talking, I'll think of something else that's really exciting or really interesting, and I'll just go in that direction instead of finishing what I was talking about originally.
Okay. Yes, I guess I look forward to seeing this. I don't know if that's the right phrase, but sure.
You look forward to what?
To seeing you interrupt yourself. I don't know if that's
Oh,
the
you've probably actually seen it before. I've just got better at like not making it as obvious.
just a seamless transition.
Like I feel like a lot of my life and a lot of my energy is spent like um just pretending that I'm normal, I guess, and like and I've learned how to like find hacks to deal with a lot of my bullshit.
Fair enough.
Like rather than actually fixing it, I just put a band-aid on it, and it's like usually the band-aid is good enough to hide that that's a problem.
So we've been talking about our introvert traits or our toxic introvert traits. So I guess the obvious question is, how do we deal with them, overcome them, improve on these traits? Is there a way to improve on these traits?
We just make friends that can deal with them.
I like it. I mean, hey, there you go. Nice. All right. Nice simple
That
answer.
right there might be a toxic trait in and of itself.
the, the most toxic trait ever. I don't improve myself. I just get friends to handle my bullshit for me.
Yeah, exactly. Surround yourself with people that are more toxic than you are.
So that you look normal compared to them. Okay.
Exactly.
Oh
No, but real talk. I think a lot of people literally. So I was thinking about this earlier. I'm like, are we coming on here and like just making complete fools of ourselves and like saying all the horrible things about ourselves, or are we being like refreshingly honest about like all the things that like all of our quirks and all of our shortcomings? And maybe that's not such a bad thing, because I bet you there are a lot of people that you could ask, what are your toxic traits? And I bet you the most toxic of them all will say, I have none.
Facts. Yes, definitely.
Like, I feel like it takes a truly self aware, not that toxic person to admit publicly on their own podcast to all of their toxic traits.
I would agree. I would definitely agree. And, you know, I think it's more of the second. You're right. It does take a lot for, or take some courage for one to get up here and just talk about themselves in general. About anything,
Right.
because it's not easy. You're putting yourself out there in this digital space, and the internet is forever. So we can't,
Right.
whatever we put out there, we can't take it back.
Oh
So
God.
it's
Why do you
it's
have to say that?
hey, I'm
Why you
bluntly,
gotta say it like that?
because I'm
You are
blunt.
blunt.
It's my
Yeah,
toxic trait.
true. Fair enough.
but but
Why do you have
but
to remind me that our podcast is on the internet forever? I didn't know that.
oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what I do.
Just kidding.
I am blunt, and I hit you with the cold hard truth. But yeah, I also think that what we're doing here is important, because there are introverts who are, feel the same, experience the same thing, may have, similar traits, but I think by listening to us, they understand that there is someone out there like them, and that, you know we
We're
joke
not
around.
that bad.
Yeah, we're not that bad. Like, you and not joke around, but at the same time, if we can inspire someone, and let someone know, hey, you're not you're not weird. You're okay.
Right.
You're doing all
Maybe.
right. And there's someone out there that understands what you're going through, or it has been through what you're going through. So, and it
Or
gets
is
better.
just as toxic as you are and is willing to admit it on the internet.
That too, because the internet is forever. So,
Right.
as
Oh
Steph
my
just
God.
discovered, the internet is forever.
Right. I hope nobody ever finds my podcast if I'm ever like looking for a job. Just kidding. By the time I'm looking for a job, um, maybe these toxic traits will have gone away. Then again, maybe not. And you can ask me about them in the interview. And because I'm honest to a fault, I'll tell you all about it. I mean, we could be serial killers.
No.
No, well,
No.
I'm saying we're not. Like, that would be really toxic. But like I'm saying, if you had to choose between being like super blunt or a serial killer, like, I'd rather be blunt.
Oh, same. Yes.
Like, I'm saying, like, on the scale of like how toxic or bad we could be, like, we're not that bad.
Fair enough.
I could be a murderer. I could be a liar. I could be really mean. Instead, I don't know. What did I say my toxic traits were?
I'll just say, murderer, liar, mean. One of those is definitely worse than all the rest.
Right. Oh. Liar. No, not
So,
I mean murderer. Serial killer. Wow.
there you
I failed that test.
Yes, a lot of murderers and serial killers are actually quite honest, but I think that gets overshadowed by the other stuff.
Are they honest?
I mean,
I guess so. They're honest enough to kill the person they hate.
I did. You be shocked. Some of them are surprisingly honest.
Interesting.
Who would have thought? But
Do you watch a lot of like true crime stuff?
I actually do. I'm more
Or
into.
are you a serial killer? Are you a serial killer?
No.
Be honest now.
I don't have the time or desire.
That's a lot of work.
It's a lot. It's a lot of work. No.
That's so funny.
Like, I'll just ignore you and hope you get hit by a truck. Like, I don't have the time or energy to no. Okay, it's too much energy. It's too much paperwork. I got a plan.
Yeah.
It's
Too
hard
much
enough living.
paperwork.
Yes, it's hard enough living in this world as an introvert. Now I got to have an entire double life. No, not doing it.
Oh yeah, that is a lot of work. I can
No.
barely remember my where I'm supposed to go for the day. I can barely remember to hold on to my cell phone. Like how
Yeah. So like
yeah.
now I gotta remember like forensics and stuff, and like no, I don't no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
It's not.
And speaking of being a serial killer, I would be so bad at it because I write down every single little thing that I do throughout the day. So like I would get caught so fast. Like I write down nap when I take them just to check something off.
Oh my goodness. And knowing
Took a
you
nap at 2:29 p.m.
knowing you be like, how did I get caught? Well, Steph, you wrote down
Right.
kill Sean on page 5.
Exactly. And you checked it off.
and you checked it off, and then you wrote nap after that. So we just figured we know we know where to find you after this. So hey,
Right. And also, like, because I'm such a hot mess, I've got blood all over the paper too.
exactly, because after you did it, you got distracted by a squirrel. So
Right. And then I misplaced it. I dropped the list in like a porta potty or public place.
like it was actually very easy to find you. It was the easiest case in the history of the department. This department. So thank you.
Literally teed us up.
Really?
Oh my god. Yeah, I guess you guys know that I'm not a serial killer now.
Yeah.
See, I'm way too honest for my own good. Oh my goodness.
And
Well, hopefully we don't regret this one.
Hopefully. But that took a very, very, very toxic turn. I think that was as toxic as one can get. So
damn. Oh my goodness! Wow.
It's interesting because my question was, how do we like not be as toxic and be the entire opposite direction?
Well, didn't I say earlier that was one of my toxic traits?
You really did, and I believe you.
Right, that was my squirrel brain in action. I feel like.
Yeah, so
I was talking about how to be less toxic, and then I just had a thought, and I went in that direction instead.
Yep, let's go down this dark hall. see where it takes us.
Oh my god. Well, I'm curious, like, which of our toxic traits do you guys have? Which one do you think that we should prioritize working on? Not that I'll take your. I'll probably just say, okay, I'll take it under advisement, as Jay would say.
Yep, I will consider it.
That's another one.
My toxic trait is that I would consider things with no intention of actually doing anything about it.
Right. I'll consider it. Thanks. So which one should we consider? But actually, which one do you have in common? Which one do you want? Which one do you brave enough to add? Which toxic traits do you think that we have? I'm scared to ask the question, but I kind of want to know that we didn't mention. Like, what are my toxic traits that you've noticed that I didn't say? I'm very curious. And Jay, do you want an answer to that question too?
I am curious too, but don't be making shit up, guys. Real stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it's true, like, great. Like, if I agree with you, I'm the first to admit it, clearly. But I might cry for like a week before I acknowledge that you're right. But I want to know. Yeah, I have a feeling I know what people are gonna say, but let's see. Let's see if they figure it out.
Oh, so you don't want to share it now? You want to wait till the results come in?
No, I'll share it. Should I share it?
Nah, let them wait. Let's see what they come back with.
Okay, let's see what they come back with. I really want to say it though.
I mean, I'm not gonna stop you. I'm actually, I'm curious myself.
Okay,
So go for
so
it.
sometimes not only do I interrupt myself when I get excited and have another thought, I tend to like interrupt other people on work. That is one that I'm really working on in 2024. And I'm gonna do something really toxic and blame my friend for that one. Um, because we are all loud New Yorkers and New Jerseyans, and everybody just talks louder than the other person. The loudest person is the one that gets to talk. And so oftentimes we'll be having 15 conversations at once, but everyone's actually responding to each other, but we're all responding to like 10 different conversations all at the same time. It is so insane if you're not part of our friend group. Like, people come in, they're like, what the hell is wrong with you guys? But like, that's like our love language in my friend group, I guess. The problem is that when I'm in other places, like in other conversations, I forget that I'm not with like my big friend group, and I do it. And that's something I'm going to work on this year.
All right, self improvement. I like it.
Yeah, exactly. Did you notice that one?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, see, I told you it was the one that people are going to point out because it's like the worst thing.
I don't know. I don't say it's the worst thing. I think it's
Well, I'm
part of
not a serial killer, so.
exactly like part of your charm.
Okay, I love it. Awesome. And it's not even that, like, and I'm just gonna like talk myself through this and like so that I don't cry. Just kidding, I'm not gonna cry. Um, so it's not even that I think what I have to say is more important than what you have to say. It's just that what you said is so exciting to me that it just exploded my brain, and there's so many things that I want to say back that I don't want to forget because like your thought was so exciting.
No, but that's actually a good point that you bring up. Because we're kind of going back to the ADHD conversation, and that I have a friend who's been diagnosed with ADHD, and
Hmm.
she said that very thing. It's I'm listening, and someone will bring up such a good point that I literally can't wait. Like I have to get it out, or I'm going to forget it.
Right.
So it's not me
Right.
being rude. It's not me being inconsiderate. It's not me thinking that what I have to say is more important. It's just like I want you to know it's the opposite. It's like I value what you're saying so much that I want to share this
Right.
this response and provide feedback or whatever. And I know if I wait, I'm going to forget it because
Right.
I can't control what I focus on. So while I'm focused on this, I have to get it out.
Right, exactly. And like, what am I gonna do? Take out my phone and type a note while you're talking? Like, no, like you're gonna love this point, or I hope you'll love this point so much. Like, I'm just so animated by our conversation that I just want to say it because like you were such an interesting person, and I think that like you'll like my response to your thought.
Yeah, and you know, I'll be honest. It took a while to get used to that, without knowing or without having sort of that backstory. I was just like, why is she always
Right.
interrupting me when I talk? Like, can I please finish? Can I finish my thought? Like, I'm I'm forgetting where I was because I done got cut off in like 5 different topics. I don't know where the fuck I'm at. It's
Oh
like,
my, exactly.
it's like
Well, that's why I'm gonna work on it. Because I know it drives so many people crazy. And I don't want to say I can't help myself. I can't. I really can't. But like, I want to try because I get that it's annoying.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say. Well, I wouldn't say it's annoying, and definitely wouldn't say. I wouldn't even say it's toxic. It's just some. It's one of those things where someone has to get to know you to understand, and
Right.
I think once people understand, they understand. It's not. It's different from someone who just want to say what they want to say and doesn't give a damn about what anyone else is saying. So
Right. Right. I give so much of a fuck what people are saying that I want to respond. Like, I'm like, because if I don't respond right now, then like what comes out later is not going to be as good.
exactly, you got to get it while it's hot, fresh.
Right. Hot off the press.
Exactly. No stale thoughts.
Exactly. Well, that's like a tangent, but we were like wrapping up, and then I just like.
Listen, everybody knows it takes us 20 minutes to say goodbye. They know the joke by now.
Exactly. So if I missed any toxic traits, I had to get that one out because that was like my most intense one. If I missed any, let me know. And then I'll just go cry in a corner and eat some ice cream and feel sorry for myself, and eventually I'll fix it.
Yes. If you have any toxic traits for your boy, definitely let me know. And as I always say and promise and guarantee, I will consider it.
Yeah, exactly. So if you loved what you heard today, be sure to rate and review us. I haven't actually figured out how to leave a review on any platform, but if you guys figure it out, do it. Sometimes, do you know how to like leave a review? I've been trying.
I think I do.
Just DM people my reviews.
Yeah.
That's another one. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Anyway, if you can figure out how to leave a review, do that. We love to see all of your responses, all your reviews. Leave us a 5-star rating because that helps us get in front of more people. And be sure to share our clips and stuff on your stories. And I'm just gonna shut up now.
Like Steph said, do the thing.
Do the thing.
Do the thing.
I was really doing good on that one, and then I just went off on a tangent.
No, you gotta believe in yourself. Believe.
I gotta believe in
you were there.
myself.
You had it. You were there. You just gotta commit. Stick with it. Stick that landing.
I better sign off before I start singing "Believe" by Cher.
On that note, do the thing. Have a great week. I am Jay Coleman.
And I am Steph Laffey.
And as always, stay introverted.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.